OK， 各位乡亲许多听众朋友，我今晚跟你紧张嘞，今天啦，我今晚跟你紧张。Yeah, it took me a while. 那个，等一下你们会听到的专访是我们小人物上来10年来500多集以来第一次 first time ever 能够访问到现任 NBA 球员，就是 OKC 的 Ajay Mitchell。怎么样？你要不要跟大家很快的 summarize？ 因为我们全程讲英文啊，还是会有挑战性。
就因为那个小梅的牵线啊，然后就我们跟那个现在就是今年那个雷霆新人啊，打30多场，37场还是什么30忘记了，34场 ，OK 呀、他是那个 Ajay Mitchell 呀、打很好，左撇子啊，我那时候看他打球就是因为他一直出现嘛，就是每次看到 OKC 他就会出来，然后一出来也是有就是打10多分钟，就觉得this guy solid， 就是 he's not flashy，
很快进入状况啊。对，
就是 he's not flashy， he's very steady。然后我有一点有注意到，就是他传球几乎都是传到人家的 shooting pocket。就是直接传到手上，就是不会让人家去捡啊什么什么的那种。so 然后就是左手嘛，一直转左手呀，自己进攻的时候那时候就觉得that's a good dude， 可是后来就听说他受伤嘛，结果小梅说他可以牵线，就觉得然后就that's pretty cool， 我们居然可以跟一个 NBA 球员聊天
，yeah， 真的不可思议啊！我们从一开始当然问他脚趾头怎么，他的那个 turf toe， 然后开刀就是出去很久。聊他近况啊，然后因为他的 upbringing， 他的成长过程很特别嘛，他是比利时长大的，因为他爸爸是在欧洲打篮球的，所以比利时
他爸爸是美国人，可是因为就是他就跑去那时候就在欧洲打球就对了。
Yeah，
所以他就在比利时，
就是旅欧的美国人。
对，所以就是他在比利时长大。
然后比利时长大，所以 NBA 现在就有2个比利时球员嘛，是 Toumani Camara，
对啊，跟他。你知道我今天在查的时候，DJ Bonga 是比利时人可能规划的，
对，很久以前的。不是说很久，就是反正就查了。那时候因为就是查嘛，所以就会查到一大堆这些球员。然后我们有聊到他在 Europe 的事情，就是说当然就会比较说欧洲篮球嘛，然后 NBA 篮球。他觉得说他说NBA， 他说欧洲篮球打很多很需要培养的 smart basketball players， 就是说 you have to play smart basketball。 我觉得相反面就是他觉得 NBA 球员或者是美国球员不用大脑。Right，
因为体能很好啊。
Yeah. In another way, it is， 就是我们的感觉也是啊，所以蛮有趣的。然后我们也聊到，然后我们就一直问他嘛，从他的欧洲进到法国国家，因为去跟法国国家队打，所以他有跟 Wemby 打过篮球。
他不是比利时国家队吗？他是去法国职业队吧？是吗？
对，他好像打法国的 U10几呢，U18队。
我怎么记得是比利时的 U10几 ？Anyway， 好 ，Sure。
他搬去法国啊 ，He moved to France to play with the U18 team with the Wembys。Anyway， 然后接下来他在欧洲有打职业联盟，对，但是那时候还是跟Wemby，他跟Wemby认识是 U18 的时候，法国的 U18， 然后就来 UC Santa Barbara 打大学篮球，打3年，然后得了各种大学篮球可以得奖。在那个小一点的联盟嘛，因为它这是 Big West， 并不是什么 Big Ten 最大的那个联盟，还是算 Division 1里面比较小的一点的 program， 然后打得非常好，打好到说让球队进入到 NCAA tournament， 光是可以进去就很难了，尤其是如果是小学校的话，所以从那时候基本上
UC Santa Barbara 有谁啊？
以前Gabe Vincent。OK， 然后在之前可能 Brian Shaw 这样子，很少啦，真的超少的，所以就是说没有那种 NBA 球员传统的学校，
OK，
所以很不容易，非常非常不容易。他就从那里，因为他打得很好，然后又进到那个 NCAA tournament， 然后大学要平均20-10是非常非常难的嘛，因为你第一个就是大学都是打系统啊，不要让人家得分为主，然后所以20-10
比赛也比较短的。
对啊，也是有40分钟，所以他就得了他那个 Big West Player of the Year， 所以这种就有机会被 NBA Scout 看到嘛，然后我们就问到他说进 NBA 的感觉啊，第一次参加练习啊，等等等等，OKC 的气氛啊什么之类的，然后如何准备自己怎么之类的 ，So it was very very insightful， 感觉我一直都觉得很不真实，我就说哇天哪，一个 NBA 球员在跟我讲他的他的那个过程这样子，你有没有什么最让你 impress 的地方
？impress 啊，就是哇，就 is nice。那没有什么价值，什么都没有、啊。
The guy is nice， yeah，
对啊，
真的是 ，yeah。所以，对啊，如果你问我的话，其实是因为我 interview 最后我都会说，大家有没有什么最后我们没有讲到的话，什么之类想要讲的。然后他就提到他的神提到他的 God， 所以或许这解释他为什么就是一个 零价值 down to earth， 然后替别人想这样子。那其实这个地方就是刚好我就牵线到说，我们当初怎么会有这个机会啦，所以也就是说谢谢的人。我们当然除了谢谢 Ajay Mitchell 跟我们录音以外，但其实这当中牵线是最重要的2个人。那我们这边当然就是小梅啊，所以谢谢小梅让这件事情可以发生。那第二件事情就是他们那边的人就是一个叫 Michael Kim 的人 ，right？ Michael Kim 是一个我们在我们在文字上，对啊，我们在文字上聊天的时候，我就是说，哇，他说他认识很多篮球员，但是他一生最有兴趣的宗旨 ，like the mission of his life， 其实是透过篮球传福音。我说 ，Oh my God， 对，可是我那时候想那么多，就是说，我哪一天一定要请他上节目这样。但是这些事情当中，我没有想过说，他跟那个 Ajay Mitchell 其实也是因为
他们同校，然后
他们是一起去
因为同校，所以就是去同一个教会吧，这样子讲吧。
是他约他去哪一个？
不是他朋友约，Ajay Mitchell 的朋友约，说有这个 Michael 这个教会你可以去这样子，然后才认识。假如我记得没错是这样子。
So it was incredible， 所以也很有趣啦。所以谢谢小梅，谢谢 Michael Kim。那其实我觉得也要谢谢我们一路以来支持的听众，因为有时候我回头来想说，如果发生在10年前，我们 nobody knew who we were， 那这件事可能一定也不会发生。不要说可能，我觉得一定也不会发生，因为总要让人家觉得说你是一个可信赖的节目吧 ，right？ 所以也谢谢小人物们一路以来，尤其是我们会员们，这样一路以来毫无条件的这样始终无条件一直支持我们。然后这些年来大家给我们的回馈，让我们的小人物擦亮了小人物上篮的招牌了。这样，所以 所以 with that enjoy the show。
500只是个数字而已。
小人物上篮，
雷霆总冠军，
这根本就是廖俊了啊！每月赞助210，我们没有要改。
KTV 公牛社，
我们节目的公信力就摆在第1个顺位上面。
那我们看看这个球员的数据。
打球不只是打球。各位乡亲时代听众朋友来好，欢迎收听小人物上篮。今天是一个特别的日子。Because we are making history in our 10 years of doing this show. On our number 535 episode, we have an NBA player coming on to share his journey with us. He has very, very interesting basketball upbringing. He actually grew up in Anse, Belgium, with an American father. If you know him, Barry Mitchell, former CBA player. Our guest today also moved to France when he was 17 to play with the U18 team with Wemby and many others. And he also played on the Senior Pro Basketball League in 2019 and 2020. And then he came to California with our neighbors, UC Santa Barbara. He was one of the best players in the history of UC Santa Barbara between 2021 to 2024. He made the 2-time first team All Big West and Big West Player of the Year. And then with that kind of resume, nobody is surprised that he was drafted in 2024 by the Knicks, but then immediately traded to OKC. And now he's a guard, one of the most productive guards, on track to make the all-rookie first team before going down due to an injury. Without further ado, please welcome from Oklahoma City Thunder, Ajay Mitchell.
Hi guys, Ajay Mitchell here for a little guy's layup. 小人物上篮.
Yeah, AJ. Good job.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. How you doing? How's everything?
Good. Everything's good. Rehab's been good, so pretty excited about that.
Yeah, how's your toe?
Feeling better. Getting much better. I got out of the boot last week, so getting progress every day. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, who are not paying attention to his toe, AJ suffered a turf toe before, and initially it was just rest, but then later on turned out to be surgery required. But since the surgery, the good thing about the surgery is that then you'll be ready for the playoffs. That the team values you so much. Is it your first time ever being out for so long?
Yeah, it's my first major injury. I think before that, the longest I was out was probably 3 weeks, something like that. So it's definitely first big injury. Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you doing? How are you coping with that mentally?
Pretty good. I think it really helps to have great people around me, just my close circle, and then the whole Thunder organization has been awesome. Just helping me through it and just making me feel like I'm part of the team every day, even with being out with an injury. So it's been awesome. And yeah, I think it's definitely hard, but I kind of looked at it as a challenge, and I think just more an opportunity to get better. So I think it's going in the right direction, and I'm grateful to be in this position, even though I'm hurt, being able to be part of this team and be able to just get better every day. So it's exciting.
Wow, good to hear. So what do you do apart from rehab? Because you can't do 16 hours of rehab a day. So what's your day like? Off day and also game day.
Most of the time it'll be rehab, and then I'll get a lift, and then sometimes we'll do cardio. Most of the time cardio, so just to stay in shape and obviously just get stronger, get better. And then I started getting on the court, just stationary, not moving, but being able to just feel the ball, shoot. So it's been good to get back out there.
Good to know. Well, we look forward to you coming back on court. It's been exciting watching you play. So can we talk about your upbringing? Because that's very, very, very interesting. We'll talk about your basketball journey and then how it leads to the NBA. Yeah?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the one of the most interesting part is actually you grew up in Belgium. You actually live and grew up in Belgium all your life until you're 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the basketball scene in Belgium is like, and how's the competition? Did you know or even play with Toumani Camara in Belgium?
I never played with him or against him. He's a little older than me, so I saw him play, and then he left Belgium, I think, pretty early. I think he left in high school, so I never really got a chance to play against him or with him. But I remember when I was growing up and he was already playing, I think under 16. So I saw him play, and I mean, like you said, the competition in Belgium, I think was pretty good. I think for me, just being able to play for the national team when I was 16, and then when I was 17, and just being able to play with the best Belgian players at that time, at that age, and I think it was very competitive. Had a lot of great players, and I mean, that's where I kind of learned how to play basketball. So it's always special to me, and I mean, Belgium really helped me to get where I'm at today.
Yeah, that's I mean, because it's very rare, and now we have two. in the NBA. Yeah. When you go back to Belgium, how do people see you?
I mean, they see me the same. I think when I usually go back, most of the time I only see family. So family doesn't change. I think for a lot of people of the outside, I think it's just you get a little bit more recognition, especially in the basketball world. I think a lot of people realize that I'm in the NBA, and so I think for me it's awesome to see, and I think it also gives a lot of kids in Belgium that play basketball just the opportunity to see that it's possible to be from Belgium and to be in the NBA.
Yes.
So it's always great to see, and I love going back and seeing people really cheering for me, being happy. So it's awesome.
No, that's so true.
Is basketball a big thing in Belgium?
It got bigger. It's getting bigger. Soccer is the main sport, and I think it'll kind of always be. But basketball is definitely growing, so it's cool to see.
The basketball is growing because of you and Toumani.
Yeah.
And I say that because it's very important to see someone that represents you and not someone you could associate with and see how they pave the way and see it's possible. People need role models. Yeah. So you're doing that. You're changing the basketball scene in Belgium for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
So and then after Belgium, you got to play with Wemby. What are you surprised at all to see what kind of achievement he's gotten so far?
No, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I mean, I think even seeing him at a young age at that time, already practicing and playing with the pros, and I think he always had that mindset of a worker. He was always in the gym, and he's very competitive. So I'm not surprised at all. He has great athletic tools, but I think his mindset is what really makes him the player he is. So I'm not surprised, and I'm really happy for him.
I mean, we all seen the clips of young Wemby playing basketball, and he was frustrated even when the opponent makes a shot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, that's some strong competitors in a high school gym. So do you guys stay in touch? Did you text him?
Not that much. I know my mom is still pretty close with his mom, so they stay in touch.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so yeah, I hear from him a little bit.
Okay. And the one thing that people talk about a lot, European basketball versus American or even NBA basketball, right? People talk about the difference a lot, and we've seen NBA player going to the Olympics and struggle playing FIBA basketball. So I mean, clearly it's a whole different games. And so in your eyes, how are they different? What was the biggest adjustments for European players playing come here?
I think for European players getting to the NBA, even getting to college in the United States, I think the athleticism is a little different. I think there's a lot of stronger, faster, bigger athletes in America. So I think that was one of the adjustments for me, just getting used to that athleticism, that physicality. And then I think something that we already had in Europe that I think is just a lot of fundamentals and just the IQ, knowing the game. I think even when you look at guys like Jokic and all those guys that are Europeans played in Europe at the highest level, and you see them get to the NBA and they know the game very well. So I think the IQ and just the fundamentals of basketball, I think, is something that people really focus on in Europe. And I think it really helped me just to understand the game. And it really helped me when I got to college to just be kind of a step ahead of some players just by knowing the game and having those fundamentals. And then, I think it also helped me going to college and be playing against really athletic guys just to get used to that and and become a better athlete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Is that the reason why you decided to come?
Yeah,
to
what brought
States?
you here? You see Santa Barbara.
I think it was always a dream of mine to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I think my dad went to college. My sister went to Wisconsin to play volleyball. So I always wanted to play college sports. And once I started getting recruited, it started getting clear in my mind that that's what I really wanted to do. So it was always one of my goals.
Yeah. So what's it like playing 3 years? Yeah, 3 years of NCAA and actually making to the tourney. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was great. I really enjoyed all 3 years. Loved the university, loved the people there, and it was a great experience all around. And then, yeah, going to the tournament was an awesome experience. Just playing at the highest stage in college basketball against Baylor, who was a really good team. So I think it just helped me get even more experience, and it was just great to be part of that team and being able to play in that tournament.
And you grew. I mean, your game blossomed by a whole lot in those 3 years. I mean, you went from a rookie to a 25-5 player in your third year. What made you? How was the adjustment initially, and then how did you? I mean, one of the hardest things as an athlete is to keep growing and never stop peaking, right? So how did you make that jump?
I think just looking at every year as an opportunity to get better. I think when I got to college, I feel like the first challenge was going to be being able to play right away. So I think for me, it was like getting to college and being ready to play. And then I think every single year was just like, okay, after my freshman year, okay, how can I become a better player? Work on all those points. And then same thing for my sophomore year going to my junior year. I think it was just every year trying to take a step to become a better player, and also just challenging myself, like knowing that I had a good year, but I want to have an even better year.
Right.
And then every year keeping that on. And then obviously I think just the coaching, I think the coaching staff just helping me with knowing what I have to work on and being in the gym with me and helping me getting better.
So one question that I ask the players a lot, and I also ask the trainer, I also ask the coach, is how do you develop basketball IQ? Because this is something that is like, oh, it's basketball IQ, and then so easy to say, but man, how do you actually develop that part of your game?
I think I always kind of, like, growing up, it was always something that we were taught was like how to play the game, how to make the right read. And then I think as you get older, I think it's more about watching film and being able to like dissect the game, being able to, like, I think like watching a possession where you scored and being like, okay, how did I score? Like, what happened during that possession that helped me score? And then I think just being able to watch the game that way, and then also being able to like watch my mistakes and being able to just learn from them. I think watching film, being like, okay, I made a mistake here. Why did I do it? And like what really happened? And I think just having that in mind, and then keep watching the game, keep learning from guys. I think just having people around that can really help me elevate my game on the IQ level. And most of it is really film, watching film on other players, but also watching film on myself and what I've been doing on the court. And I think that's really how you can develop IQ, is by watching your mistakes, watching what you've done good, and just learn from it and build on it.
No, that's fair. I mean, because that one thing I pick up from your videos, from your clips, highlights, is that you always seem very poised. You know what to do, and you don't see that often. Because sometimes we could tell like, rookie mistake, but you know what you were doing. So if you were to drive, you drive with determination. If you were to pass, there was no hesitation midway. So that was very impressive. Yeah. So keep moving forward. So from there, obviously, I mean, you're a player of the Player of the Year award in the Big West. But when was the thought of becoming an NBA player came to your mind? When was the first time ever, like apart from like being 3 and shoot hoops in your backyard?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I think I always thought I was going to be an NBA player in a way that, not that I was like, oh, I'll be an NBA player, but in my mind, it was always like, I want to be an NBA player. So growing up, it was always like a goal of mine.
Even since you were 3 shooting hoops in your backyard, you were thinking about like NBA player.
I want to be in the NBA someday. And then I think obviously seeing my dad play, and then I think just growing up, like watching like players like LeBron, and I was like, I want to be at that stage. I want to be in the NBA. And then the first time I realized that I was pretty close was probably after the NCAA tournament my sophomore year, where I was like, I think I really have a good chance if I just keep working and just get better next year and see where I can go. And then I think it went really well, and yeah, I got the opportunity after my third year to enter that draft process, and yeah, it was awesome experience for me too. So I was really excited about that.
Yeah, that's great. Really, because I'm in California as well. I'm in Pasadena, so to hear someone that shows up on TV actually being drafted in the draft night was something special for us as well, you know. And so what's it like for you when you first heard your name being called?
A lot of emotions. I think just being with the family at that time, and then being able to just see one of my dreams like come through. I think it was awesome. And I mean, I was really, really excited. And I was just really excited to be able to achieve my goal of being an NBA player. And I knew that on draft night, I was drafted, but there was still a long way to go. So I think it was more me being like excited to get to work.
Yes.
Did you expect OKC to draft you?
Actually, not at first. I think when the first round was going on, I thought I had a pretty good chance of being in the late first round. And I didn't really know what team it was going to be. There was definitely a few teams that were like, there's a good possibility. But then once the second round started, that's when we kind of knew like something with OKC could happen. And I remember at that time, I was like, because I was always thinking about, okay, what team could it be? And when we were talking about OKC, I was like, yeah, I remember going there for like my draft workout, and I was like, it was awesome. Like I loved the people, loved the workout, and I was like if I end up there, that would be pretty cool. Like that would be pretty nice. But I'm not gonna say I was expecting it until like the second round actually started, and then that's when I was like, okay, there's a possibility. And when it happened, I was like really excited.
Yeah. So what was your day one like, or what did you have any like I am an NBA player moment? Did you have one of that moment?
I think, I mean, the first time right after the draft when we got to OKC to do like press conference and everything, I think that was the first time where I was like we showed up to the hotel, and then there was like OKC fans that like were around and were like, oh, you're AJ, like we're so happy to have you. And I was like, how do they even know? Like I'm the second round pick and they're already like welcoming me. So I was like, that was pretty special. And then I think, we went through summer league, but I think the first time that I was actually like, wow, this is real is when we all showed up and we were like before training camp started playing like scrimmage with the whole team. And that's when I was like, yeah, everyone's there. This is real. And everyone's out here playing and it's very competitive. So I was like, that was probably the first time I was like, yeah, this is the NBA.
Well, I mean, really happy for you. But when you say you were surprised, I'm not surprised because we do have followers. We have followers that live in OKC when you were drafted. And so when we were talking about whoever got drafted, I was like, hey, Straper, what do you think? And he's like, AJ is smart. AJ is a smart player. He's going to be good. He knows how to do. He knows when to cut. He knows when to... Smart basketball player. I was like, oh, wow. So people were expecting you. People were expecting you. Well, that's great. And I think just like the poise thing that I was talking about earlier, I'm going from UCSB, Santa Barbara to OKC, NBA level, right? It must be a huge transition. But you scored 12 points in your fourth NBA game. That's crazy. I've never thought. So do you remember what's it like? Your first game or your first breakout game?
I mean, I remember my first preseason game in San Antonio. I think it was like when we started warming up for that game, it really felt like it was like NBA 2K. We were warming up, like seeing the arena, seeing the play. Like I was really like I felt like I was in a video game, and I think there was a mix of like being nervous, but also being like excited to play. And it was a really good game. Like really got in there, and I think what really helped me was just having the team that already at that time had confidence in me. Even as a young guy, to just go out there and play. And I think it was an awesome experience. And then I remember my first like regular season game. I think it was Chicago. Chicago was the first game I scored my first points.
Buckets, yeah.
And so I remember that game for sure because I was like really anxious to score my first basket. And when it happened, I thought I missed, and that someone tipped it in, but they told me I made it. So it was a great feeling. But I mean, yeah, I remember the first few games, and I was more excited than nervous, just because.
Oh, okay.
I knew that like I was in the NBA, and I think it was just me being able to just have fun and enjoy that moment of being in the NBA, and then just trying to be the best player I can be with the opportunity the team was giving me. And I was really happy just to see that the team really believed in me. So it was an awesome feeling.
So the last sentence you said was very important. You say the team believed in you, and for real. I mean, you played 6 minutes in your first game against Denver, which is, there's nothing, right? Like some rookies don't even get to play, which is fine, right? But starting from the second game and on, you're playing 15 minutes and above, 15, 20, 17 minutes and all that. So did you know you're going to be a rotational player that fast?
I wouldn't say I knew, because I think in the NBA, you never really know what can happen and what the rotation is going to be. I think I had pretty good confidence of the work that I've put in. And I think I was more like going into the season, I wasn't expecting anything, but I was just like, I'm going to put my head down, work hard, and do whatever I can to help this team win. And I think that really just helped me to stay focused on that, on helping the team win in any way I can. And I think having the team just believing in me and having coach just putting me out there, I think really helped me to just get better every time I was on the court. But I think it was an awesome experience to just be able to be on the court and being part of like the rotation. I think for me it was an awesome feeling, and really felt like I just had to keep working hard and keep getting better every day.
I mean, you have a very, very impressive resume for. I mean, 34 games, you averaged 6, 2, and 2 per 36 minutes. That's 14, 4, and 4, and 1.5 steals, and that is coming at 50% of field goal, 43% three, and 58% free throw. At 12.5 PER, 1.6 win share in just 16.5 minutes. That's almost unheard of for I can't believe that. Not to say can't believe, but the success that you have to transition, ease into the rotation. So, how did the team prepare you to have all these coming at you and still being this efficient?
I think it all started in like training camp. I think we had a very, very competitive training camp. And I think the team, even in training camp, putting me in position to get better, to learn from like mistakes and letting me like out there and play. And I think it really just helped me to understand like how this team played. Because I think that was the most important thing, was to really fit in that culture that that OKC has. And I think it was, I mean, like the teammates made it really easy. The coaching staff made it really easy to just really help me get into that and help me understand how we do things. And it was pretty easy to pick up and to understand. And then once I kind of knew what it was just going out there and going out there and play and do what I was supposed to do, help the team win and just try to get better every day. And then obviously having, I think, the trust of my teammates and the coaching staff really helped me to keep developing every single day.
I mean, your team, the OKC Thunder team, you guys have one of the best camaraderies amongst the team. I mean, you people always go do team interviews, multiple players all at the same time. What's it like in the locker room? How do people just always being goofy around, having fun?
Yeah, most of the time we know when we get on the court, it's business and it's serious. And I think the whole team, we always do a good job at knowing when we're in the locker room, we're goofing around, we're laughing, and then once we get out of the locker room, it's like, okay, like we're already focused. So I think it's a great balance, and it's awesome to be able to be part of a team that has so much fun with being with each other and being able to just spend time with each other. So I think it's a great feeling.
Do you have a locker room leader, like someone like an underground leader, locker room leader?
I think we have a few. I think there's no like
few
one leader, but I mean, Jalen Williams is always up there. I think Alex Caruso, like when, especially like during games, like at halftime or stuff like that, he's always here to like talk to us and be able to bring the team together. But I mean, I think it's a little bit of everybody. Shea, Jalen, like everyone on the team, really, we're so close that everyone is able to like say what they see on the court. And then when we're not playing and we're just in the locker room, like after practice, everyone's talking to everyone. And you can see like everyone's having conversations. So it's pretty cool to see.
No, what's the any rookie hazing that you went through or you've gone through?
It hasn't been too bad.
It hasn't been too bad. That means they can do more. That means they can add.
Yeah, I know. We have that's pretty cool. But I mean, it would be like just bring food on the plane. If guys ask for it. Put towels on the chairs before practice or stuff like that. So it's normal stuff, like basic stuff. So
no popcorn in your car or something.
No. We didn't get that. I think if you do what you're supposed to do, you won't get all of that. But now if you don't do it, you might.
If you don't put towels, you could get worse, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. No, but you talk about being remarkable thing. One of the most remarkable thing about this team is the number one defense. And it's not just this year, it's historical numbers. So I know you guys, deflect a lot, you communicate a lot, great rotation, play aggressive defense of that. But what, from your eyes, from what you learned from the inside out, share with us what's the principle of your defense and how did you implement that? Because everyone wants to implement that, right? But not every team can do this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has a lot to do with who we have on our team. I think our whole roster, one through everybody on the roster, is focused on defense. Everyone, and I think it starts when you have a leader like Shea that's out there and is a great defender, and he loves playing defense. And when you see him play defense, I think him as a leader, everyone else is like, we're in this with him too. I think it sends a message when your best player is a great defender. And then I think, I mean, our whole team, I think Alex Caruso, him, Lou, Kaysen, like we have a lot of great defender. Jalen Williams. So I mean, Hart. I mean, I could name every player, and every player wants to play defense and does it at a very high level. So I think it really, if you have that on your team, and everyone's really focused on that, it's. I'm not going to say it's easy because it's. I mean, the NBA people are so talented. Defense is never easy, but it makes it easier to be able to play defense when everyone wants to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. Historical level defense. And it's not like, you're overwhelming people with like physical presence or thing. It's like, oh my God, what happened? And then, it's a fast break on the other end already. It's crazy. So on the flip side, well, you guys are leading the league in wins, so it's not a knock on you guys. But amongst the 10 losses, which is the fewest in the league, some of these losses came from teams against strong interior presence, Dallas, Cleveland, and Minnesota. So feel free to disagree, but would you say a big interior presence is a matchup issue for you guys?
I don't think so. I think we obviously had a lot of injuries throughout the year. I mean, Chet, who's like one of our main defensive guys, was out for a little bit. Hart was out for a little bit. So I think we had to adjust as a team during the year. Like we didn't have all our bigs at the same time. So I think it's definitely harder, obviously, when you don't have those guys out there. But I think we've done a really good job during that period to just adjust and being able to, okay, we maybe don't have our rim protectors yet, but we can figure it out without them while they're out. And I think it's kind of a challenge for a team, but it's a challenge that helps us because we know that when they get back, we've been through it without them. Right. And now that they're here, it's another addition that really helps the team. So I think for us is just trying to learn from every experience that we go through and try to get better every night. Every night we're gonna have nights where we might not be shooting great, but if we lock in on defense every single night and learn from every game, I think we'll be good.
So, I mean, it looks really good when you have both Chet and iHeart on the team in the lineup at the same time. It's crazy. You instill fear into your opponent. So, you play 34 games, and do you have a favorite game so far? I mean, you do have your career highs, scoring 20, scoring different scores, even highs. But do you have a favorite game so far?
I mean, I think the Cup game, NBA Cup game at home against Dallas, I think was special. I think just the atmosphere and the fans. I mean, every night is special with our fans, but this night in particular, I could feel like it was really big, and I think
it's like a playoff game.
Yeah, it really felt like it.
It was intense.
Having everyone was like really hyped, and I think it was a game that I always remember just how the fans were into it, and then obviously we treat every game the same, but when you have that the fans that are that excited, it helps the team even more.
How about that game where you scored the basket on the wrong. Wait, no, you scored it on the right end.
You're the only one where knew where to score.
That was definitely one of the most confusing moments in my career because I was really like, I remember looking at the ref before we even started to play and being like, are we on the like right side? And nothing really happened. I got the ball, and then the whole way going to half court, I was looking, and the more I was like going to that like side, everyone was a little bit more confused. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of everyone stopped, and I was like, okay, something's definitely wrong. And I was like, yeah, the basket's on the other side, so I was like, I might as well just go. Who knows? So it was a funny moment, but it was very confusing. It was funny.
When we talk about going to interview you to our members, and they're like, "Oh, the one who actually knew what happened in that game," I was like, "Yeah, that only person." Yeah, it must be something from Belgium. So I looked at your career high at 17 games versus Memphis, and it was a win. It was actually a blowout win. Not surprising, but what was it like? To have a career game against, I mean, Memphis is no joke, one of the best teams in the league. What's it like for you?
It was a great feeling. I think my mom and my best friends were in town at that time. Mm-hmm. I think it was just special to have them there. And I mean, I think every time my mom is in town, it always brings something to me. So I was really, really excited and happy for her to be able to be at that game live and see that. And it was a great feeling. I think what really helped me too was just my teammates throughout the whole game, just believing in me and telling me like, be aggressive, like every time you're out there. And yeah, it really helped me. So it was a great feeling.
So, I mean, congrats, really. That was one heck of a game. And, in the same game, we talk about you coming from Belgium, inspired people in Belgium. There was a player playing for Memphis, also inspired an entire continent in Asia. We're talking about Yuki Kawamura. He actually scored 10 points in that game. Because most of our listeners are based in Asia. Talk about your impression of Yuki.
I mean, I think he's a really good player. I think it really doesn't matter, like where you're from, or like how you got there. I think it's really, the game of basketball is universal, and I think if you're good at basketball, you know how to play the game. You can play at any level, and I think he proved it. And I mean, I've been watching him since he's been in the NBA, and he's been
you pay attention to him as well, not just us.
He's been doing awesome, and I think just for me, obviously it's a totally different situation, but he's from overseas too. He's from a whole other country, and I think him being able to inspire the people in his country, I think is very special. Yeah.
No, not just his country. The entire continent of Asia was watching. Yeah. And I mean, okay, previously, before Jeremy Lin, we would think like, oh, it's hard for Asian players to play in there, apart from Yao Ming, right? Because that means, but if you're not 7'6", then it's a different story. And then Jeremy Lin proves that, okay, you can be 6'3" and play in the NBA. Yeah. But then being Yuki is a whole different thing, because he wasn't even born here, raised here, played here. He, came through Japan, training system in Japan, came from Asia, played international basketball in Asia, and still showed up in the Olympics and then in the NBA. So that was truly an inspiration. So let's get back to yourself, because we're. So how would you? Because we get to see glimpses of you, but this is only your rookie season. We see you as an all-around player. You could shoot the three. You have very, very good fundamentals. You know when to drive, when to shoot. You could pass. You could rebound. You could do a little bit of everything. But we're getting a glimpse of your career. Do you have a player that you grew up watching, or do you have a player that you model yourself after?
I mean, growing up, obviously I was a LeBron fan. I knew I wasn't going to be like him. So it was just, I just like the way he was always like one of the best players to ever play the game, but just him being able to just carry a whole team and being able to make everyone around him better, I think was always something that I looked up to. And then I think growing up, two players that I really liked was Mike Conley and Chris Paul. Mike Conley obviously was a left-handed player, and then always really liked the way he played. Remember him back in Memphis. Really, really liked him. And then Chris Paul just being like the point guard he is, and being able to like direct a team, I think was really interesting. And then growing up, also like a little later was D'Angelo Russell. When he first got I was obviously a left-handed player, so I was like, I love every left-hand player, but him especially, I really, really liked, even when he was in college, but then when he got to the league too. So those were like the three guys that I really, really like watching.
So would you say you model yourself more like a floor general versus like a big time scorer?
I think growing up, yeah. But I think I never really modeled my game after any player. I think I was just more trying to get stuff from every player that I would watch.
Right.
And then I think now, like, I think even before getting to hair was like, okay, let me look at guys that are my size. And like I was looking at, I think Derek White, I think is a very good example of a two-way player that is very competitive on both ends. Players like Andrew Memhard, guys like that can really play on both ends and make really smart decisions, I think are players that I really look up to.
What's the next level of skill that you want to develop?
I think
want to add to your game.
I think there's a lot. I think after, I mean, when I got here, I was like, I just want to get better every day. And after seeing it, I think it's more about like I feel like I can take my game to a whole other level. And obviously it takes time, but I'm really excited to just get better at everything. I think just obviously getting stronger. Getting faster, but then I think on the court is just being more sharp on everything I do, and then getting better at every little details that I can get better at. So I think it's just that. I think trying to get my overall game at a much higher level. So yeah.
Everything, yeah. Every aspect of your game. You want to shoot better, you want to drive better, you want to defend better.
Everything I can get better at is what I really want to do. I think there's nothing in specific that I'm like, this is what I just want to get better at. I think it's my whole game that I want to expand and get better at.
All right. So that includes shooting with your right hand, yeah?
Maybe not the three. That'll for sure take a while, but at the rim for sure. At the rim.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's relax a little bit. So we have a tradition in our 10 years doing this show that our first timers on our show will play a game called 5-for-5+1, and it's a game where we just give you two to choose from. Okay, essentially rapid fire. Okay, it's a rapid fire game. So if I say blue or white, right, the jersey color, and you just pick one, you don't worry about it. So and it will go to order for like more general to like very specific. Anyway, the goal is for you to struggle. Okay, so don't take it offensively, don't take it personal. It's just fun. Okay? All right, food. Let's go.
Okay, so first question is Liege waffle or Edge Craft barbecue?
I gotta go with waffle. I got to go with the I have to.
17 years beats 1 year, right? But tell people about Edge Craft.
I mean, probably maybe the best barbecue I've had. So it's definitely tough. It's just as a Belgian,
you have to stay home.
I have to.
Yeah. What's your favorite topping on your waffle?
Honestly, if it's a Liège waffle, I don't need any toppings.
Oh, really?
The waffle by itself is just perfect.
That is amazing. That's amazing. All right, then this one is a given. I was going to say Anne's versus Santa Barbara. But Anne's is hometown.
That is tough. I mean, if we're talking location, there's no questions at Santa Barbara.
Okay.
But I grew up in all, so that's my heart. I'll say Santa Barbara.
Oh, your hometown. Your hometown buddies listening.
Just because of the location, but everything else it's awesome. But
okay. Fu, your turn.
ISO versus Dort. Is that what you want?
Yeah, ISO versus Dort or ISO versus SGA. Shay.
Oh, I see what you're asking.
So I'm either
ISOing against Lou Dort or ISOing against SGA.
They're both guarding me?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to pick one. Yeah, you have to pick one. Who would you rather?
Who would I rather guard or have guard me?
Guard you.
Oh, I don't want Lou to guard me. I don't want Lou to guard me. I'd say SGA for that one. I don't want Lou to guard me.
You don't want Lou to guard you. He'll give you bruises. Okay. So this question was supposed to be iHeart versus Chat, but you say everything's lefty, so I would suppose it's iHeart. So I would just go with the other question. Now, this is a question that we ask a lot, and we think about this a lot. Would you rather be a 20 per game scorer or a 4 steal, 2 blocks per game player?
Oh. If I'm being totally honest, 20 point scorer.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I love playing defense, but I'd pick 20 points for sure.
So even when you don't want to play against Lou Dort, you still want to score 20 points.
Yeah.
That's Lou Dort right there. All right, Fu.
Okay, 5-time All-Star or 1-time NBA champ?
Oh, man. Oh, honestly, I'd probably say 1-time NBA champ.
Oh, yeah?
I think I always grew up watching the finals, and I think just one day being able to say I'm an NBA champion would be something that's totally different. Obviously, being an all-star is awesome, but I think being a champion would be crazy.
Yeah. You guys might have it this year. This is okay. We have been running the slogan on our show as OKC 总冠军, which means OKC the champ, for more than 2 years because we see it coming. We've seen it coming. So we're just seeing if our profit from 2 years ago will hold true this year. So last question, we call it the plus one, and it's a special question. It's like who is the GOAT type of question. So here we go. It's LeBron James or Barry Mitchell.
Oh, man. If Barry Mitchell watches that, he'll probably get upset because he probably thinks he is the GOAT. But no, I'm not giving him the GOAT. LeBron.
So it's LeBron, yeah? Yeah. No, this question used to be, it's almost always be Michael Jordan or LeBron James, but you're from a whole different generation, right? You probably did not grow up watching Michael Jordan. So I think it would only be fair to lift your dad up.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, though, do you think you would have this? I mean, do you think you would have met the NBA if you had grown up in the US?
That's a tough question. I think you never really know. I think it's really unique the way I got there, and I think the biggest part or the biggest reason I think is God, and I always believe that God had a plan for me. I think it's hard to say what would have happened if I grew up in the US. I think it wouldn't have changed for me. I would always want to be an NBA player, but I think the path and everything I went through, I think was kind of written.
Yeah. No, it's so real because, I mean, a lot of people say that they grew up. I mean, a lot of people would think that growing up not coming from the US is a disadvantage of becoming a basketball player. But look at all these European players and even Asian basketball players coming to the league. And we could clearly see, the European basketball cultural influence in your game. So I think that's what makes you special as well. So I've thought about this question for a bit. Ajay, thank you so much for your time. It's been fun talking to you. It's been almost an hour. Can you believe that?
It was great. Great time.
It was great. Is there anything that you would like to share that we didn't talk about today before we end?
I mean, I think something that I realized and that I shared with a lot of people around me, and I think it also helped them realize, I think something that really kept me grounded and humble and really helped me, like I said earlier, was God. And I think when I made it to the NBA, I had kind of this idea of once I make it, I'll be happy because I'm in the NBA. And I think once I made it and realized that wasn't what was making happy. Obviously, I was really happy being in this position, but I kind of realized with time that it wasn't only about making it to the NBA or being an NBA player, and that my life had a purpose. And I think understanding that what really is important to me is my relationship with God, being able to rely on Him in every situation. Because even when I'm in the NBA and I'm happy, I think there's still a lot of challenges and a lot of times where you're mentally it's hard. You go through stuff, and I think so. I think God really helped me to realize what was really important to me, and I think it really helped me to also kind of enjoy every single moment. I think and with now being injured, I think if I didn't really have God or didn't have that realization, I think maybe I would be depressed, or I would be in a different mindset. So I think that's something that I shared and realized, and I think that is important too, just to have something to rely on, and for me to have God just guide me through everything. And I think it even made me happier to just enjoy being in the NBA, enjoy the struggle, enjoy the family being around. So I think it really, really helped me to just realize that it's not the NBA that was going to make me happy, but it's just God being with me and helping me through everything. So I think that was something that I always thought was pretty dope.
No, thank you for sharing that. No, God shows His glory and His grace through our hardest times. And our Asian model, Indian model, Jeremy Lin, talks about how God accompanied him through some of the darkest time, because every time he said that every time he thought he was having a break, finally breaking through, something would happen. when he was finally given the starter role, he broke his patella tendon, essentially the career-ending injury. But God is there. There's a lot of things that we could not understand, but having faith to be there, to know that he's in control, and everything that did not make sense is because we don't understand his plan yet. But with faith, with his guidance, one day we'll be able to understand, and to understand his love, his grace is unconditional, and is always there with us.
Yeah.
Ajay, thank you so much for your time here. I mean, this is, like I said, this is the historical moment for our show, and
thank you guys for having me. It was really fun.
Yeah, and we look forward to you coming back from your injury, bounce higher than where you are, and shine through with God's glory in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank
you so much. Yeah, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, 小人物上篮, here is our very first NBA player on our show, Ajay Mitchell. Best luck and best wishes to you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
小人物上篮。